record on this computer. Okay, so we're recording. So I'm gonna stop sharing and let Mary share.
So did I have to like accept that or something?
Yeah, you just go to your email and accept it.
Oh, okay, hold on. All right.
Okay, so now you've got that. So right now what I'm doing is I'm writing an issue. All right, so I am going to assign you a issue. Let me put the label on this. Enhancement. And it's not linked to anything. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna make a new issue. All right, so if you click on issues, it should show that there's one issue in there, and it's assigned to you.
All right.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in React Router DOM, and then we're gonna make a component for characters and character, and then we're going to route to those two components.
Okay.
So first, let's go to the command line.
Can I do it from here or outside?
Yeah, you can do it there. Yeah, it's fine. Hit PWD.
Enter.
Yep, enter. Okay, that should work fine. So let's do npm I and then React Router DOM. And then we wait. That looks good. So that probably worked just fine. So now let's, I guess let's go ahead and branch, do get checkout -b, and then we're just going to call it route, I guess. Hit enter. That's fine. And let's do npm start.
I already did that. Should I do it again?
No, that's fine. It should already have rebooted it with the other thing. I didn't realize you already had it open. So yeah, it's fine. So now if we're going to be adding in React Router, so we're going to need to open up app.js, which you already have. It looks like on the right. So let's add in import, and then curly brackets, browser router as router. So browser router, yeah. comma. Let's see, we probably need switch. And we probably need route. And then just do from React router DOM. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's correct. My brain isn't always awake. So now on the line 19, where we have div class name app, we're gonna wrap all of that in our router. And then we're gonna copy the slash router and put it at the end. Okay, so now after header, oh no, we're still gonna kind of use that. Yeah, that's fine. So after header, let's go ahead and do main.
Another, like,
No,
delete
I
it
mean,
or?
no, after header. So like after line 24, hit enter, and then do main. Not capital, lowercase. So just like you're writing out HTML, then hit enter. Now we're gonna put in a switch. So do your switch with a capital S. And then let's go ahead and put in a route for home. So we're gonna do route. My brain just stopped working. Anyone? Is it 2 or I always forget.
Equals.
Path. That's right. Path equals. What's in my mind? And then it's just going to be quotes with a slash.
We want exact right now.
No exact. And probably at this one, I'm not even entirely sure where I'm going to point it just yet. So we'll probably have like a home page or something. But we don't have a component for it. So I guess let's make a component for the home.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and make a new folder in source. And call it components. And then let's go ahead and make a new folder under components and call it home. And then underneath home, let's make a new file. And I usually like to do home.jsx and make it so it's a capital H, because it's going to be a component. I usually prefer to have a capital. It also helps if you ever get into like Java, the file names have to be like really exactly correct. So, all right. So let's go ahead and do your import React from React. So you've got your import. And then I'm going to do an ES6 function. So we're going to do const. So go down a couple of lines. And then this will just be home capital H equals, it'll just have parentheses. There won't be anything in it right now. And then fat arrow, curly brackets, and hit enter. So now we've got a function, but we need to return something. So let's do a return statement with parentheses, hit enter, and then put 2 fragments. So just the empty elements. So
Two divs.
Yeah, but
Oh,
not
just
divs. It's like a div, but it's not a div. And then a slash. Yeah. And then you need a export default at the end. So go down to line 7, hit enter. And then you're going to export default home. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of save that right quick. Maybe put home in between the two fragments.
It's like where the.
Yeah, just inside of there, just put home there.
Okay.
So we're gonna kind of test this routing first. So let's go ahead and put in app where it's a route path slash. Let's put home inside of there. So on 28, type home and then hit tab on that, and it'll, if it's autofilling, so then it usually should work, but I don't think it did on that one. Delete the slash home. I'm just trying to show you. Yeah, backspace over H, or just to the capital H and type O. And then go down where it says home, hit tab. All right, so now if you notice up top, it imported home on line 5.
Oh, cool.
So that's kind of a shortcut. The tab complete works really well on this. And then all you need to do is just end it with a slash greater than. All right, save it, and let's see if this sort of works. So we got header and home, cool. All right, so let's go back to that. I think that probably needs to be an exact because we don't want the home to keep showing. So on route path, all you need to do is put exact between route and path, or technically you can put it afterwards as well, but put exact space path. So when we go to a different path, it doesn't try to render that home. So next thing that we probably want is we want to have a route for characters and a route for an individual character. So let's go ahead and make a route again.
Inside the switch?
Yeah, inside the switch. All the routes are going to be inside the switch. So just do route, and then I would do exact path again. And then this is going to be slash characters. I don't think you really have to have the slash at the end on that. I'm still debating on it. So go to the end of that, and then in the there you go.
Okay.
So now just copy that home component because it's going to look exactly the same, except it's not going to say home. No, not that. On the other side, the home JSX.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So just select all, copy it. And then we're going to make a new component folder under components, and we're going to call it characters. And then a new file called characters.jsx with a capital C. And then just paste that in. Now, if you use Alt and then click at the end of each one of the homes, then you can backspace over those and call it characters. All right, then click somewhere and it'll stop doing it. Okay, save it. And let's see if this is showing up correctly. So now do localhost 3000 slash characters. Oh, yeah. Still isn't working right. Let's take a look at the route. Let's see what happens when we put a slash at the end of route of the characters, because I can't seem to get this right half the time. Save it. Ah, weird.
Add the slash.
Yeah, I guess. See, it's still doing header. Oh, let's remove the exact and see if that's going to help any. Save it. Oh yeah, never mind. We don't have anything in there. We haven't called the characters.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's put exact back in there. I was just trying to troubleshoot it. See, I'm already losing my mind, everybody. it's late. So in there, let's do like you're typing out the character component, and then hit tab before it's done with characters.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like 4 down. Yeah. And then end it. Save it. There we go. So now we got characters. So now, let's see if we can take out that last slash and just have it so it just goes to characters without the slash. And then, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's working. So now we're going to need another route for character, which is a singular character.
Exact.
Yeah, go ahead and just do exact on that one. And then make it so it's lowercase.
Yeah.
But it's going to be slash lowercase characters, plural, slash, and then
Character.
yeah, character is fine, but you need a colon in front.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then go ahead and end the route element, enter. Okay, so now let's copy your characters component, and inside of that same folder as characters, we're going to make character.jsx. All right, and then paste that. So now what we're going to do is change all those to character. Well, you can just do the alt thing. Hit escape.
Oh.
Control Z. There.
One letter.
Okay, that's fine. So now what we're going to need to do on this one is we need to get use params. So let's go and import in use params. And it's going to be from React Router DOM. And put a little white space in there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to, at the end of character, we're going to put 2 curly braces.
Which one?
The middle one.
All right.
So just hit space and then curly braces. All right, that's fine. And then we're going to do use params.
Inside of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then curly bracket, or not curly bracket, parentheses, losing my mind, dot character. And it's all lowercase because that's how you have it on 37 on the app.
Okay.
All right, so save that. And let's import the, or let's put the character in the route.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is going to work the way I want it. So now let's go back over and just say select. Let's go back to your web browser. And at the end of characters, just do slash, say 1.
/1.
/1. Enter. Ah. So now if you go back to just character without a slash, or just try a character with a slash, characters slash.
No
and then
one.
hit enter. It's characters. So now we know that that's a character list. So, and we can specify what we want to be in that character. So what we're going to be passing is, instead of like a 1 or whatever, we're going to be passing an entire string of what we want it to be. So like, say like a single character. So go ahead and add what you have, git add. And then we're going to do a git commit. And then just added routing and components. Sounds fine. All right, and then push to route, origin route.
No U?
No, you don't need a U on this because we're only using it once. So all that does is make it so you can use git push without using origin and everything else. So hit it. Okay, cool. So now let's go back over to GitHub, and we're going to make a pull request. Pull request. I requested a pool be installed where I live. They said no. All right, so go to pull requests on the right. And then see how it says route less than a minute ago? Hit compare and pull request. And we're going to make sure that's going into master, which it is. Hooray. And so now just leave a comment. Just say what you did. Say you made a home. Made home character and characters components and added routing.
That's wrong. Sure.
Okay, so now you can go ahead and pull the create pull request. So now what we're going to do is, if you scroll down a little bit on the right, you'll notice they have this linked issues. Click on the linked issues. Yeah, that's fine. The whole thing's the same thing. Then you have that React Router DOM. So go ahead and click on React Router DOM. Cool. So now you've got that. So now add me as a reviewer. The Alpha Senior. Everyone else. So go ahead and stop sharing, and I will show you guys how I have to do it in labs, but you guys don't really have to do it this way because this is still really early. So let me share my screen. One of these days I'll get the correct screen shared as well. So, all right, you guys can see this screen here, the React Router DOM. Okay, I'm getting nods, so that's good. So if I go here, I'm asked to be a reviewer. I can add a review on this, and this review changes toggle's kind of nice. And I have mine set here where it's a split view. I don't really like this unified view very much. So like if I apply and reload, it's like, who can read this? Like seriously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, put this into a split mode and reload. All right. So what I can do is I can comment good choice on routing package. I can add a single comment. So now this allows a conversation to get started in this. So if I find an issue, I can start a conversation and have them fix it before we do a merge. So I'm already resolving it because that's just me complimenting Mary on her package selection for routing, because there's actually more than one router, but React router is the best one that I've run into, so we don't even deal with anybody else's. So you've got multiple components here. You know, I might here, let me cancel that. Yeah, so I might put so I put some white space between external components and internal components. And so I might put that there, but it's already resolved. I'm not asking for anybody to argue with me on that. And then we've got all this stuff that all looks fine. This looks fine, this looks fine, this looks fine. So what I can do is I can put a review and leave a comment. And I can approve it. So if I approve this, then we get, you know, where I can merge it. So a lot of the times you'll be on a project where you have to have one person who's approved it before you can merge it. In labs, you've got to have two people. That's just evil. They shouldn't ever have two people do that, especially when you only have like 3 people that you're working with half the time. So, so I'll merge it, confirm the merge. So now if I go back over here to issues, that issue is now closed. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a new issue. And we're going to say one that's called character Axios. So we need an Axios call that brings use params as the URL Axios is getting. Hopefully that makes sense. That doesn't sound like a very well structured sentence actually. So let's see if we can do that. Use params to the URL Axios and then get. So who wants this one? Anybody? Nobody's gonna unmute. Nicholas, do you want this one? Way? Steven? Anybody? Anybody? Everybody's afraid. All right. Well, I'm gonna pick on Nicholas because he's already in here.
All
so,
right.
So what I've got is I've just submitted a new issue. So the first thing that everybody has to do once we've got that merge is we need to do a get pull origin master. So if you want to, let me stop sharing. Get pull origin master, share your screen.
All right, I just did my poll.
Okay, and then do an npmi. Looks like it's doing something, I guess.
Yeah, it just finished.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the goal here is we're going to be passing an entire URL string as a parameter. So if we go to character, and we have that use params character right there, so that's kind of neat. So we've already got whatever you can put on that line. Let's go to let's put in a use effect. So we're going to need use effect off of import React.
Oh.
I bet you we're going to need a use state as well. So let's do a new state. So const, and we're just going to call it data, I guess. And I believe it's going to be an array, or not an array. It's going to be an object. So just default state is going to be an object of some sort. So let's do a use effect. And remember, it takes in a, well, we're not actually going to be using data there, otherwise it'll loop. So we don't want to do that. We're just going to have an empty array. So we need that to take a function. Looks like you've got an underscore in there. There you go. And then we're going to need to import Axios. But try here, first try typing in, nope, not there.
Oh.
That was weird. Yeah,
Yeah. I had to put something there.
Yeah, you can just, you don't have to put anything there other than just parentheses. All right, so now underneath there, just type Axios just a little bit, not the whole thing, and then hit tab. So notice how you have Axios from Axios?
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to do an axios.get. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pass in use params character, just like on line 14. So now what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to put a URL, a complete URL at the end of that path and then get it. And let's just console log out response and error. All right. Go ahead and save that and go ahead and run it, or start it rather. Failed to compile. Use params cannot be called instead of a callback. Oh, okay. Yeah, we need to set this outside. Sorry. So use params. We need to have on lines. Go to the end of line 7 and hit. Hold on. Yeah, into line 7 and hit enter. And then we're just going to say const URL equals. And that's going to be the use params.character. and use params as a
Oh,
function.
it's a function, yeah.
But then you're going to just stick URL in there. Okay, now let's see if it compiles. Little bugs here and there. So let's go /characters/1. And then right click on it and go to inspect, and let's see what the console says. It'll probably throw an error. It says failed to load resource, responded with a status of 404 not found. That's fine. So it's not exactly the most secure thing that we're about to do, but this is kind of a neat way of playing with it. And eventually we're gonna like be passing down different ways of doing this without having to mess with this. Because usually you wouldn't be trying to access things directly through a URL bar, but for simplicity's sake, that's what we're doing. So let's do, go to Rick and Morty API. And then go to docs. Or pick on one of the ones down there if you want. All right, so we want the URL, says URL HTTPS Rick and Morty API. It's the second from the last key. It's not the location. Keep going on the next line down.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so what we want is that HTTPS and copy that. And let's go back over to the, oh, no, we don't have to put it in there. Go back over to your localhost 3000. I think you use the, and then do /character, or characters, plural, /paste. Enter. All right, now let's look at it. So right click and inspect. So, but we did get an object. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's not bad. So, probably that's a little weird that we didn't get the individual character.
/40, yeah.
So let's go back over to the code right quick.
Just want to see if that changed it.
Yeah, let's go back over to the code right quick. So now on that Axios get, let's put backticks around the URL. And then curly braces around the URL. Yeah, there you go. And then in front of it, paste that that character line in front of it.
Oh.
Oh. So paste. It's still in the backticks, and then get rid of 40. Save it. Now backspace over that where it says HTTPS and just put 40. So now look at the data that's coming back. So now we've got a single character based off of their ID number. So what do you think of that?
It worked.
Okay, so we're using parameters to say which character we want to get instead of going directly to a URL, which isn't very secure because, you know, what if you wanted to, I don't know, hack NASA or something? Whatever the kids these days do. So it's not a really good idea to try to drop an entire link through the URL bar. But I see it all the time, which is bad. You shouldn't do that. So now that we have a character, I guess let's make the characters as well. So now let's do the same Axios call and use state, use param, or use param. Oh, we don't need params. We need use state, use effect. Okay. So let's do some state for data. And then we'll do an Axios call for that. Yeah, we don't need the use params for that.
Oh.
Because we're not getting any parameters on characters. It's just a straight up thing. All right, and then get rid of your line 3. And then let's do a use effect underneath there. Telephone.
Yep.
All right, so now inside of here, let's do an Axios get. Now let's go back over to the Rick and Morty API page and see about getting, so go to docs and then go to get all characters. So right there's the API. So Rick and Morty API character. So just copy that HTTPS right there. And we're going to pass that into the Axios call. You need to have that
Why
in.
did it do that?
Yeah, you got to have it in quotes as well.
Right.
All right. So now do the rest of the Axios thing. Nope, not there. Then we're just going to console log a response and an error. Okay, so now delete 40 and hit enter. So now we've got info and results. So we've got data.info and data.results. Data.results is an array. Data info just gives us a pretty good idea of how many things are on the array. So if we wanted to make a character card, we would just need to pass in the ID to character and it would render the card. So it's very wasteful doing it that way, but let's go ahead and go back over to your code. It was data.results, right?
Yep.
And that was the array? Okay. So instead of returning characters, let's leave the fragments in there, but get rid of characters at the bottom. Hit enter. I guess enter again, just. And then do curly brackets. And then map, or do data.map. And then we're going to do two different ones because, well, I guess we could probably do it just with the normal one. So we want a, we'll just say character, data.map, and then your parameter is going to be character, singular. Yeah. So now this is going to return a JSX element, and we'll just, I don't know, I guess call it an article is fine. Lowercase. All right, so inside of that article, the first tag, you need to have a key, and it's going to be character. You don't have to put a return on that. It's already defaulting as returning a JSX element. So inside of that, at the end of article on the top line, you need to put a key equals, and then curly brackets, character.id, because they have a character.id on their schema. So now inside of that, we're going to do character. Let's see, how would we do that? Because if we wanted to link into that individual card, I'm trying to think of how I would do it. My brain just stopped working. So yeah, you could do character name and stuff like that, but I think that we would do a link around that. So we need to bring in link. So if you did an import link from React Router DOM, and then wrap your character name with a link, but or the article would probably work as well, but you'd have to move your key up to the article. And then we're going to go to and then this is going to go to well, it's not going to go to character URL because that would just link to the character URL on the thing. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to go to and this is going to be kind of sort of kind of hard coded. So backspace over character for right now. We're going to use backticks because we were going to put that in as a string, and we're going to do slash characters. Plural. Slash character ID. Dot ID. And then wrap the character ID in $, so it escapes out. Yeah. Just like that. So now let's save that and see if this works. Expected assignment. What line is that? Line 20 on characters. Yeah, maybe it doesn't need a return because it's a group. There you go. Oh, you're still on characters 1. So just go to characters. Ooh, data.map is not a function. So we need to do data.results. dot map. And it still isn't doing very well with that. So let's go to the default.
I think it's because
It's
it's
a
rendering before the use effect actually gets the info.
yep.
So we need
So-
to, yeah.
So we need some initial state inside of there, or we get to conditionally render the component. So let's go into your initial state. So on line 6, oh, you don't need to do any of that. So on line 6, on use state, we're just going to make it so results equals an array, or results colon array. No, I mean like yeah, save it. Well, that's not nice. What else are we getting? Is it not giving us a name? Should be giving us a name. Let's go back over to elements and see where it's at. It's going to main, but it's not actually rendering anything now. Let's take a look. So we've got data.results.map. Is that what's actually the name, or did I read it wrong on the console? Yeah, so we've got data,
results
and we can map
should
over
be
that
the
because
array.
it's an array. It should give us 20 names. So let's go back over and look at that right quick. So data.results.map character should be returning article character. Hold on. Oh yeah,
I wouldn't think that'd make a difference. Yeah, I didn't.
I don't think that's gonna. Here, go back over there and let's look at the elements. See if it shows a single P. So go into app. Yeah, see it shows a single P, but it never does the map. I'm not entirely sure why. It should be.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, it's got to be something with the results.map.
I think we need to set this equal to a variable and then
No, you don't. You don't have to. You can directly reference it like that. Because your data. Oh, that's right. We're not actually putting it into data. We're never setting the data on line 10. So set data, response.data. Save it. Okay, cool. Now if you click on each individual one, you should have character 1, character 2, character 20, like that. So that at least links. So let's put in some more information on the card for the character. So let's go to your not on that, but on the actual character one. So let's go ahead and before we mess that up on line 12, let's put in your set data. And then let's also see what happens on, say, character 1 or characters 1.
so just check it out.
Yeah, go over to the other one. So let's look at the data, see what it looks like, if it's array or what. So it looks like the data is normal stuff. So you got name, gender, photo, things like that. So let's go ahead and let's make like a little card for that. Well, we don't need a key on that because we're not going to be looping.
Oh, okay.
So now we've got an article. Let's do character. Let's go ahead and put in an image first. Let's do an image tag. No, it's still going to have an article.
Oh, okay.
But inside of the article, you're going to have an image tag. And do an alt tag where it goes to character ID or data. Data.id is, or data, yeah, data.id. Or data.name maybe, I don't know. And then source was it, what was the picture URL or image URL for that? Data dot
I think
URL
just image.
and then image. Okay, so data.image goes into source. I think IMAGE. It was actually spelled out. Okay, so let's see if that explodes. Okay, cool. So we got an image, and probably instead of 1 for the name, I think we probably should put in the actual name. So let's go back over to the code. So let's make it so that your, see where it says image source, data image, alt, data ID or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
So let's do, let's see. My brain is not always here. Instead of data ID, let's do data name for the alt tag so that it actually screen readers, instead of getting a number, get an actual name. And let's put a name underneath there and like a p tag or a h2 or something.
Oh.
Okay, so now we at least have something displaying. So go ahead and open up a terminal and branch this. And we're just going to call this display characters for your branch name. So get checkout minus B. And then okay. Now push it or add it, commit it, push it. Okay, so now let's go and do a pull request. Now, you can do a linked issue. Yeah, you can add me. On linked issues, go ahead and select the, you can, at the top, well, actually, you have to create the pull request first. That's fine. Go ahead and create the pull request or leave a comment, whatever you want. Okay, so now you can change your linked issue and do character Axios. So now if you go over and you look at issues, and you open up that issue, it'll show that you're assigned, but it's also linked to the pull request added characters on the linked pull request. So now if I go into pull requests and I add, go ahead and merge your changes. Then you'll notice the issues disappear. And now everybody can do yet another git pull origin master. And technically you should probably do an npmi even though we didn't add anything, but it won't do anything other than just make sure that nothing is going to break. I think I need to go in here. Forget to delete the route branch there. Try to keep the codes clean. So right now all we have is a master branch. So nice and quick. We've got it where it's displaying a character card. So now we get to try to figure out what we want to do for maybe if we wanted to send in data or get it as a what do you call it? Like get an individual ID or let's say the full URL through that same component. And it's a possibility that we can make it work really quite easily. But I'm still thinking about that. So it would require a little bit of logic to figure out whether you want to use params or if you want to get it from props. So we can make it so that it does both things at once, where we can pass in props or we can use it as a use params. So that's going to be the thing I guess we'll go over tomorrow, and it'll give me time to think of it a little better. So, yeah, so far it's coming along nicely. We should be able to get where each one of the components is linking to each one of the other components by tomorrow night, and then maybe do some styling on Thursday and make it look nice. So, all right, anybody have questions, concerns, comments? That's it. Have a good night.